Hello and welcome to Asia News Today. The latest in the financial fallout from the Ukraine invasion, a former BBC DJ stands trial for exploiting children as young as 12 in the Philippines, rights groups demanding answers from the Indonesian army after a child was killed in Papua, and the face of things to come, a new unmanned 7-Eleven store is opening today. Who's going to toast my ham and cheese toastie? All that and a whole lot more coming up in today's Asia News Today. Asia-Pacific markets have risen today as investors navigated the changing situation in Russia and Ukraine. Japan's Nikkei 225 gained 1.4%. The S&P 200 in Australia was up 1.2%. In South Korea, markets are closed today for a public holiday. Now, Chinese tech company Baidu is also expecting to announce its fourth quarter results today. Pundits are expecting a softer Q4 than expected. China's official manufacturing purchasing managers index will also be released today. US West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures rose slightly to just over $96 US per barrel in Asian trade. Spot gold, traditionally a safe haven in times of uncertainty, was trading around US $1,907. Toyota Motor Corporation has suspended work at all of its Japanese factories after a supplier shut down computer systems across the manufacturer's network over concerns about a possible cyber attack. Toyota says it's temporarily halting all 28 production lines at 14 factories due to the system failure. At this stage, Toyota says they're not sure how long it will take to completely check their computer systems, but are aiming at restarting tomorrow. Toyota's manufacturer of metal, plastic and electronic parts says they found evidence the computer network was being accessed from outside the company, raising concerns about a possible cyber attack and leading Kojima Industries to shut the system down. The latest incident is another interruption for Toyota as they try to return to full production following other temporary factory closures in January and February because of microchip shortages and COVID-related disruption. Making a short comment on the matter, Japanese PM Fumio Kishida said the government would investigate the incident and whether Russia was involved in the cyber attack. Rights groups are accusing Indonesian soldiers of killing one child and critically injuring 6 others after accusing them of stealing a weapon from a soldier in Indonesia's Papua region. 12 young children were reportedly arrested on Sunday after an Indonesian soldier at the Tapalinik airport reported his weapon missing. While in custody, 7 of the children were allegedly beaten so badly, 6 ended up in hospital and a 12-year-old died. The ages of the injured boys or the others taken into custody have not been provided at this stage. The Legal Aid Foundation in Papua accused the soldiers of committing an act of barbarism against the children. 3 other men are now suspected of committing the actual theft. The Indonesian military were accused of killing 3 school children in West Papua back in November 2020, while 1 child was killed and another wounded when government forces clashed with separatist insurgents in October last year.
Join the conversation and have your voice heard. Discuss the issues, share information and get information. Thaiger Talk is where you keep in touch with everything Thailand. Go to thethaiger.com/talk.
In Thailand, it's Russians out and Saudis in. In the past few days, the arrivals of Russian flights have turned to a trickle. Just 1 flight into Thailand today, a Phuket arrival from Ural Airlines, serving a far-flung Siberian city. The daily arrival of a Boeing 777 from the national Russian airline Aeroflot in Phuket was conspicuously absent this morning. Now, whether Thailand decides to ban flights from Russia or not, it's somewhat of a moot point now, as the ruble has tumbled from around 1 ruble equating to 43 Thai baht to as low as 30 baht this morning. But the Russian cloud has been replaced with a silver lining from Saudi Arabia. The first flight from the Saudi flag carrier arrived with 56 passengers in a Boeing 787 after a hiatus of 32 years yesterday. Now, you can read up about the Blue Diamond affair and see what happened during those 32 years some other time. Anyway, Thai tourism officials are hoping the flights from Riyadh on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays may replace some of the Russian tourist numbers. In the wake of the Thailand Pass Test and Go reboot, Russian travellers have been the most popular arrivals into Thailand. Let's hope they can sell more than 56 seats in future flights out of Riyadh. Singapore is now imposing export controls on items that could be directly used as weapons in Ukraine to inflict harm. The Singapore cabinet is also blocking certain Russian banks and financial transactions, with a spokesperson saying that specific measures are being worked out and these sanctions will be announced shortly. The announcement included the following words: "We continue to value our good relations with Russia and the Russian people. However, we cannot accept such violations of sovereignty and territorial integrity of another sovereign state." The Singapore stand has been replicated by their South Korean counterparts, a rare stand against Russia by both nations. Singapore is one of 82 co-sponsors of a recent UN Security Council resolution condemning Russia's aggression against Ukraine. The resolution was not passed as Russia, a permanent member of the Security Council, vetoed the vote. Now, the resolution was supported by 11 of the 15 Security Council members, with China, India and the UAE abstaining. A Filipino court has heard that a former BBC Radio 1 DJ tried to arrange sex with children as young as 12. Mark Page, who was on the BBC in the 1980s, allegedly used charities and businesses as a cover to meet the young Filipinos. Mr. Page, now 63, is denying 5 charges of arranging the commission of a child sex offence. The court heard that 3 offences were on webcams in 2016 and 2 in person after he travelled to the Philippines. Jurors were told Facebook monitors raised concerns after finding messages which exploited children. Cleveland police carried out a search warrant on Mr. Page's home in January 2020. They seized his phone, tablet and a computer, which were analysed and showed that Mr. Page had been in contact with children in the Philippines and had arranged payments by money transfers. The trial continues. Finally, 7-Eleven has opened its first unmanned store in Seoul. Instead, you'll run into a customer engagement system, a sort of artificial intelligence that will greet customers, interact with them and tell them about special promotions. You'll even be able to engage in conversations with the artificial intelligence. Deep Brain AI is the provider of the new service, a company developing AI systems that can engage in real-time conversations. The system was installed last August, but is now going to fly solo as a pilot for unstaffed stores in the future. Now, if it's anything like Siri or Alexa, there will be some strange responses. I can't wait to ask, "Open the pod bay doors, Hal." Well, that's the way we see most of the stories from around Asia today. Just reminding you that when we talk about Asia in this case, we're talking about mostly Southeast Asia and Northern Asia. We might expand in the future, we'll see. There's still plenty to talk about and try and condense into a 10-minute segment. But from all of us here at Asia News Today, we'll be back with another bulletin tomorrow.